Hello and welcome to TRADOC In Depth. I'm John Harlow with the TRADOC News Service. Today we're talking with Major General David Ralston, the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Field Artillery School in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Sir, thank you very much for joining me today on TRADOC In Depth. The Army is transitioning to its modular force. How will the Army's plans for modularity change the way field artillery operates?
Yeah, field artillery is going to change a lot with the new modular force, and we really now have embedded artillery units inside the new brigade combat teams, which adds that familiarity with field artillerymen in with the maneuver folks, and it heightens that relationship. So a great start for the field artillery to be embedded inside the maneuver brigades.
Sir, when we talked about Excalibur, you said the system would bring field artillery back into the fight. How will systems like Excalibur help the branch continue its transformation?
Okay. You know, we always said that we were full spectrum, but we found that we really weren't. We had that capability gap of urban insurgency. Precision weapons, Excalibur and guided MLRS unitary, have allowed us really to be full spectrum. It gives us the ability to fire very precisely, limit collateral damage, so it brings us the ability to add field artillery into the fight, even if it's in urban insurgency. It really does make us full spectrum now.
The Army is preparing for the future combat systems. How will FCS and new advanced technology make field artillery even more lethal than it is now?
And as we do the FCS, in the first spin-out, we've got two kind of exciting systems. The NLOS LS, the launch system, which is a precision attack missile, small missile that has a vertical ascent, and it's been named in the past rockets in a box because you can put it in a container with 16, actually 15 other rockets and command and control, and virtually take it anywhere. It can be put in the back of a truck, it can be airlifted, so it provides to the maneuver commander the capability of having missile attack whenever he wants it. It's another precision attack system, and it's coming out in spin-out 1, along with the NLOS cannon, which is advances the old Paladin into really into the 21st century with its robotics, its ability to fire rapidly, accurately, and actually more lethal than Paladin.
With systems like Excalibur, NLOS, and the guided MLRS coming online, how is it changing the way you train and teach field artillery soldiers and officers?
You know, one of the things that we really made a change in is not only emphasizing the lethal fires, but non-lethal fires as well. And that is a real change in almost the mentality of what we're trying to train in a field artilleryman. The fact that you don't just default to a kinetic solution, but how to apply non-lethal effects on the battlefield too, and non-lethal fires. And so we've done a lot in the way of changing our Captain's Career Course and our introductory lieutenant's course, BOLIC, Basic Officer Leader Course 3. And we've added this new dimension of non-lethal fires to the menu.
Sir, it's becoming more and more of a joint world. How's the field artillery branch preparing and adjusting its training, tactics, procedures, and doctrine to fight the joint force environment?
Yeah, I think we're right now in a joint fires role. We've brought in the Air Force now. Their detachment here was not existent 2 years ago. Now it's up to 23 permanent folks here. We've just bring in the Navy, a couple of Navy personnel to work here. So we are looking at joint fires. We've always had the Marines here, and almost by nature, artillerymen, Army, and Marines are working together. So it really is a joint fires world right now, and we're exploring everything that we can to make it more so. We've just added the Joint Forward Observer, and that is going well in conjunction with the Air Force and working with JTACs. So at every turn, we're now trying to make it more joint-oriented here at Fort Sill.
Sir, there were over 6,000 rounds fired in the 10-day Battle of Fallujah, 7,000 rounds fired for operational purposes in Afghanistan. Can you talk about the performance of field artillery soldiers in OIF and OEF?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, a lot has been said about artillerymen doing non-standard missions, and I think we're doing a great job in everything that the Army's asked us to do. But as you just said, there's a lot of firing going on too. There's a lot of standard missions that the field artillery are doing, and they're doing that absolutely great. Now with precision, we'll probably be doing more standard missions. At the same time, we are going and doing a lot of non-standard missions. Many artillerymen are owning land and doing the maneuver piece of that. So I think at every turn, we're showing that we really can be pentathletes, do a lot of different missions, and do whatever the Army's asked us to do.
Sir, you joked in the 2006 State of Field Artillery article that in your spare time, you and your staff are planning for the arrival of the Air Defense Artillery School. How are you preparing for the Fire Center of Excellence?
You know, we just stood up the virtual Fire Center of Excellence on 1 June of this year. And you know, every time we look at this thing, we find additional opportunities in bringing the Air Defense School here to Fort Sill. So the staffs are coming together. We're working together. And you know, what we thought might be an arduous task actually is really easy, and it's almost a delight to work with the air defense community, looking for synergies where we can come together. And the opportunities actually are appearing in places we didn't think they would normally be, and it's becoming a pleasure to do this mission.
General Ralston, thank you very much for joining me today on TRADOC In Depth. With the TRADOC News Service, I'm John Harlow.